What's up, guys? Sub-Zerek here. Let me move my head, actually. Whoosh, back up to here. Back for another VOD review. I legit never use that on stream because it's only when I swap between displays that I never do that on stream. Also, there's a kitty behind me. Maybe you'll see some more of her as she is chill, but that's my my contractually obligated 5 seconds. That wasn't even 5 seconds. 2 seconds of Lunacam. So, new patch out. Feel like you gotta watch Wasianiverson. I will move my... I mean, you can see the 3.4 AVP, and it got even better after this, honestly. This Wasianiverson guy is really good at TFT, really good, it feels like, at understanding what is broken very quickly into a patch, and he, very quickly into this patch, discovered something that, I mean, you almost have to abuse if you end up in a spot for it, which we will talk about around stage 3, stage 4. So keep your eyes peeled for that. That's just the little, I don't know, little teeny bit of information to keep you watching. I got you like a fish on a line. All right, first augment here. All the Shimmers, another one pumping up. Another one has been buffed significantly, 1 gold to 5 gold. Still don't think it's amazing in spots like these. Because, like, what are you gonna do? Make double void staff? But you know, maybe there is some case where you take another one, you have item anvils, and you make some really good, I don't know, double bramble vest malphite, and then poof, the game's off to the races. I don't really love any of these that much. You know, from this opener, it looks to me like a Yuumi opener, which is another one of those lines that's been very, very, very buffed. So I'd be looking at all the Shimmers, I guess. All the Shimmers Mogul's Mail here is just a little bit tragic that you don't have other tank items to place with it. We do hit Salvage Bin, which I think is a very highly rated augment by a lot of good teamfight tactics players, just because it allows you to play very flexibly, allows you to slam items, which tends to be really good. We get, I mean, are we just gonna make blue buff GS here, I guess? We're gonna power up, find Shadow Clone. A little too slow, actually, so we can't actually get the second Shadow Clone unit, which actually might be consequential here, because this board that we're fighting... Wait, this unit turned into the dummy. That's, I mean, it doesn't... It's just visual, right? But it... Yeah, I mean, it's just visual. Okay. But pretty funny, at least. But yeah, okay, blue buff GS here. Once again, we are... the salvage bin here, so we can play anything from this spot. Usually when you have salvage bin, you want to start thinking about, okay, like, what are my actual components that I can play with here? I have 2 tiers, so no matter what comp we want to play on, we have to play around some comp that's happy using multiple tiers. Now, that could be a sorcerer board where you just keep blue buff online. It could be, you know, like a Yuumi board where you make like a void staff plus Archangels is actually a bit weaker on Yuumi these days, so you probably don't want to go for that. But, you know, Archangels plus maybe a Spirit Visage frontline. Could be a Jinx board, which a lot of people these days are really favoring Shojin onto this Jinx unit for a couple of reasons. One is that when Wasian was playing this game, Jinx was bugged. The bug has, as far as I've heard, been fixed. The bug was, if you were playing earlier today, that they added a power-up on PBE that made it so Jinx's 4th rocket was a Giga rocket. So, like, you get to the 4th rocket and then which just, like, blows up the whole board. Somehow, that power-up made it to live and also just was on Jinx by default. So all of your Jinxes were just having this giant 4th rocket. Now, as far as I've heard, that has been hot fix, bug fixed. So no longer the game, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. But Trojan was being built more often on Jinx because of that. But still, it's a very solid item onto her, especially if you do go the Gathering Force setup onto the Jinx here. We'd have to take an item to slam here, and Wasian opts to take the glove for the TG. I mean, yeah, this is one of the best items that we could slam in this spot here. Level up here, really not too much to add, but hey, we can at least play the Callista. We're gonna check what our item is here, but I do think it just has to go onto either Rel or Garen. Interesting that it does go, I mean, it's kind of funny. If it goes on Garen, you're thinking more of playing towards Star Guardian, and if it goes on Rel, you're thinking more of playing towards Yuumi, because, you know, if you play Star Guardian, it's going to be easy to sell the Garen. If you play Yuumi, it's going to be easy to sell the Rel. So I think this kind of shows Wasianiverson's hand here in that he wants to play more towards Star Guardian, which makes sense. Star Guardian was already one of the best 4-cost lines last patch, and it only received a buff this patch. Ahri got buffed, and Seraphine got buffed, and of course other stuff got nerfed. Other stuff got buffed a little bit, but overall Star Guardian went from, you know, S tier to S tier, I would say, to one of the best 4-cost lines to the best 4-cost line. So pretty chill times. Also, what is my kitty is gonna pick a fight at the door there. She's gonna make Luna Cat fight her. No, I mean, it's honestly, she's not an instigator. You're not an instigator, Daisy Cat. Oh, I don't want to rile her up. She's gonna jump on my desk and oh, she's actually going crazy. All right. We are continuing to chill on this board, though. We do pick up the Syndra, who's a great in. I mean, this is going to be our board, and the question is, what's our next in? And I mean, it's probably Yasuo if nothing changes here. Normally, you know, like a Rakan plus Nico is... Oh, I guess we're playing Shen too. Okay, and we did get a dupe here as well. I mean, if you're a beast, maybe you think about playing some kind of reroll line here. And I mean, he's kind of thinking about it. We do... Wait a second. Oh my god, wait, are we... Okay. I feel like we have to stay on this board for now. This is kind of crazy that he's even considering this. He cut Battle Academia. This... I'm surprised. I'm really surprised by this. I think this is just Wasian being a little dizzy here. There's no way it's correct to cut Battle Academia in this spot here. You know, you could even just cut the Rel 2 in this spot. But okay. Hopefully we're not punished, and we're not. Okay, so we do win this fight. That's actually big. I mean, I would just sell this Smolder here and just play Flex. Yeah, like, we don't have to try to, you know, go into some kind of reroll setup here. Coronation, great in Star Guardians to just play a bunch of extra units. And these other options are pretty mediocre. So I think it's an easy Coronation pick here. And we do even hit Cinder 2 here, which is great. And we hit 4 Bastion. And now we can play the Katarina as well. We get to play everything here. And then put the Fawn onto the Syndra. I mean, this looks great. This is an amazing spot. And I mean, you can see why Wasian's good at TFT, because he wins a lot of fights. He slams good items, plays good boards. Except for that last round where he didn't play a good board. And win streaks, and the game becomes quite easy. And another thing that you can do when you are win streaking really hard, saving all this HP, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it in a sec. We're going to talk about it in a sec. For now, we are going to continue to chill on this board. We get our salvage bin on, and finally, Belt is great because we are kind of lacking any kind of tank items in this spot. We essentially have 8 components that are damage items here. You know, 10 components, I guess, if you count the spats for the Coronation, because it's a damage item as well. But a lot of damage, not much tankiness, and a lot of these items can't really be broken down into tank items. You know, glove, you can make steadfast, and that's it. You know, sword, you can make stare axe, and that's it. And a lot of these comps don't even want stare axe. So we do kind of really need some tank components to come down the line here. So yeah, we are going to continue to chill on this board for now. Oh, that guy got Tiny But Deadly. That has been, I guess, re-added into the game. Interesting. There is, I mean, once again, if we wanted to play Leona comp, Leona there, I imagine it's going to be a Chain for some reason. Chain or Cloak, but Chain to me makes more sense. I mean, it allows you to slam Sunfire for now, get that heal cut, and then you can reforge it later. So, makes a lot of sense to me in this spot here. But yeah, I mean, the only kind of downside to this spot is we aren't actually that rich because we're no Econ Augment. And because we've made, you know, the upgrades of like Shen 2 and things like that. Also, because we took Coronation, we're forced to field more units. So, you know, our board is a little bit more expensive than it normally would be. So we're actually a little poor for this spot. Though, honestly, as long as we win this fight, sell off the Smolders, sell this, then we get to make 30 gold. And it's not the end of the world by any means. All right, gonna continue to chill here. And I guess we should start talking about this random level for Janna last round. That didn't just add, you know, a random Janna to our board. It added Crystal Gambit to our board. Now, we won the first fight with Crystal Gambit, which is, you know, means we didn't get many stacks. We got 20 stacks here, whatever. But Crystal Gambit actually got changed pretty significantly this patch. So you get a lot more stacks now for Lost Streaking Stage 4. What does that mean? Well, if you guys played any set 10, you guys would remember this play pattern that a lot of really, really good players did, where they would actually play that set. It was Heartsteel, if you guys remember, which was basically the same thing as Crystal Gambit. You would save a lot of HP, actually, stage 2 and 3. You didn't actually want to play it stage 2 and early onto stage 3. And then you would tech it in stage 3. I think it was like 3-2 for Heartsteel. I don't remember exactly. But you would tech it in stage 3 and then lose the rest of stage 3 and stage 4. And you got a ton of stacks for losing stage 3 and stage 4. Heartsteel, actually, you were allowed to like win fights. I recall it was just like you got more for killing more units. Crystal Gambit, obviously, if you're going to double down, you have to lose fights. But this is what Wasianiverson is going to do this game. We played a fantastic early game. We're 100 streaking here. Now we have our Crystal Gambit in here, taking just a barely, you know, one few unit loss here. I was gonna say 1 unit, but that's not a 1 unit loss at all. A 5 unit loss here is not bad. And now what we can do, we can double down. We can take a good starter and augment, which is keepers here. And then we can just chill. We're not going to make our board stronger. We are going to position for keepers so that we can kill as many as possible. But the other nice thing about this play pattern is everyone else is spiking right now. It's 4-2. Everyone is leveling, rolling, trying to get their strongest board here. We don't care about that whatsoever. We are going to intentionally, like I said, loss streak these next 3 fights after the double down. And just remember, we're 81 stacks of Crystal Gambit right here. You're going to see the amount of stacks you get now for lose streaking stage 4. I mean, look at the amount of stats that we're getting just for killing a few units. This is a fantastic loss here. Boom, 173. We almost got 100 stacks there for losing, which means that we can catapult to these 300 stat cash outs. 300 is quite easy if you're doing something like this, because remember, we just have, I mean, it's not very hard to take a few losses stage 4 and all of a sudden have 300 stacks out of nowhere, which allows you to get to these really, really big cash outs that will oftentimes just win you the game straight up. So rotate into one of these boards, kind of annoying, these reroll type boards that have 3-star units, because it's very hard to kill them alpha. The upside is they tend to be lower level here, but another loss, 257. Remember, we doubled down on 80 stacks and we are already 257 from there. Item wise, off carousel here, I'm a little bit lost in the sauce here. I would try to take tank component here, but I mean, he ends up getting just the cloak. I think Wasian might even be a little bit lost in the sauce here. And getting a Crystal Gambit back in here actually with the Ash, which is kind of interesting. And also start kind of like pre-pivoting his board into Jinx. He's really looking for the one that says when you cast, you get AD based on how much you've spent on it. Gather Force is what it's called. So that you can play for multiple Jinx casts with the Shojin. He really likes GSI Shojin. He's built that a lot. But look at that. Our final loss here to cash out. 333 cash out here. So we get the 300 cash out. And look at that. 3 full items. And we're 48 HP. All we had to do was play Crystal Gambit for this stage. I mean, even had we fit, Crystal Gambit in, I mean, imagine those first 80 stacks didn't exist at all, which is kind of impossible because you have to lose and then, you can't double down before doubling down. But imagine that. We would still have 250 stacks, which is still a nice cash out. So it's insane here. I will say Wasian's being a bit greedy here and just holding his full items here to just, completely greed everything. And he's also not even rolling on 8 here, which is wild. I mean, he could try to, he's gonna push 9 in this spot here to make the world's most capped Star Guardian board here. There's a lot of fantastic units that you can add on to this board. I mean, Volibear being one of them. So yeah, I don't think we should sell that here, but let's level up. Cassante, a decent one to add here. We have very little gold here, but we hit a lot of the good stuff already. We hit the Braum, we hit the Bear, we hit the Poppy 2, which is huge here. We don't have Jinx 2, which is the really sketchy thing about this game plan. But I mean, Wasian, his mama didn't raise no coward here. Gonna start slamming items. Crown Guard, Morel gets made. IE plus, Shojin gonna get slammed here. This gets made as well. Shojin for, okay, we take a bad loss here. GS is really good. I mean, he's got so many items to slam. This game plan is crazy from Wasian. We're gonna roll down here. Hope to randomly find a couple of Jinxes. Oh, pretty surprising actually. He sold a Varus there, right? I'm kind of shocked that he didn't want that that Varus there. I mean, he has Jhin even, which I would think would be not, I mean, sniper value is pretty low here, but yeah, I mean, he prefers this. Okay. Vow gonna get made. TGs for the rest of the frontline. Gargoyle for Poppy is really, really nice here. Gonna make an IE for Seraphine, and that's our last item slammed here. 16 HP, and oh, we just barely win this fight. Actually, we have another item because we have the Anvil. Oh my god, there's so many items here. I don't know, Hodge Braum, something like that. Yeah, seems good enough here. Find Poppy here, which is gonna be our next in. Yeah, he's not interested at all in the Beirut actually in this spot here. Would much rather just play. Okay, but now we find the Bear too, so the Bear is gonna come in over Cassante. Great unit on this board, right? You already have Edgelord in with the Zaya, and obviously getting Luchador in is fantastic here. So this looks great. And interesting that that Wasian, like, I have seen people be more interested in cutting some of these units, cutting stuff like Ahri for, stuff like the Cassante, stuff like the Varus. You could, easily cut Ahri on this board for one of those, and then you'd have to cut one more unit, which is kind of the awkward thing. Normally, you could cut Zaya, but you don't actually want to cut Zaya because then you're losing the Bear power-up, so, or the Bear trait, so you'd have to cut, I don't know, Syndra lose Prodigy. Doesn't sound amazing, but doesn't sound horrible. All right, we're gonna move Crown Guard over here and then Vow over to Braum. Vow being a fantastic item onto Braum. Continue to roll down here. Gonna make even the Zaya 2 here. We're still Jinx 1, by the way, which I think is just a testament to how good this comp is. Also, he's going for the full triangle positioning, which is interesting. I mean, he needs to stand alone the Poppy, which is why he's doing this. But I mean, the board is very strong because Jinx is a very strong unit in general, but the board is also very strong because we're 3 full items up on every single person we fight. I mean, that's a prismatic augment that we cashed out from, once again, just playing it so early. It's so reminiscent of... What? What was that? He just decided that Ahri was useless, cut her, played a random heavyweight because he was, really hoping just to get heavyweight value in for Poppy, and then decided, actually, it's not that good. I'm just going to play double Braum on this board. I mean, it's a little crazy, but I mean, is it though? Like playing double Braum, you get a lot of CC about it. The big thing is that you'd be kind of afraid normally that a Braum one wouldn't cast, but with Keepers and all of this extra frontline, I think you actually aren't that afraid of it. But you can see, once again, Wasian, like I was kind of talking about, not necessarily valuing the super vertical Star Guardian. He liked the 8, but he definitely would play a Koboko here if he could find one. He just can't find one. There's the Braum 2. Finds the Ahri again, so we can fit that back in, I guess. Yeah, is not going to opt to play the Zac here. Another TG goes on to Rel. Yuck, but I guess I've seen worse here. Unstoppable, huge for this Poppy, actually. And yeah, he could look for that that power up onto the Jinx, but I mean, he's actually quite happy with Skypiercer here. He could make MR Shred, he could make Armor Shred if he wanted it, but the nice thing is we get both out of the Jinx, and Unstoppable is so good with these setups where you're playing around Keepers, because you just get the Poppy to dash to frontline, and then you lose. There's no downside to doing this like full backline positioning that we're doing here. Continuing to roll here, still no. It's kind of crazy that we have not found the unit that we're looking for here. And yeah, he's even going to position full on for the Poppy in the middle here, so she gets the biggest shield, and then boom, she just flies straight to the front line. And then it's as if you positioned completely normally, so there's no downside to this Keeper's positioning that normally would be pretty rough here. Big win here against Raynox here. So I mean, wow, it's only 6-3, but this game is almost already over. And that is a Jinx too at 6-3 that maybe caps our board out enough to win this game. We'll see what with Crushing's board. Crushing's board also playing this bear. The stats on the bear went up a good bit. He got buffed this patch. He looks really good as like a +1 on boards like this Jinx board, like the Mentor board, which is actually what we're playing against here, is the Mentor board. So we'll see who is the winner here. I mean, this is a level 9 board from Crushings, but we're level 9, playing a broken comp, and we have +3 items. So I think it is going to be an easy win for Wasianiverson. I mean, showing off the power of the Star Guardian, but I think really the big thing was showing off this power of the Crystal Gambit stage for, it's absolutely insane. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitch, my Metafy, all my other links down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Where's the kitty? Oh. And the kitty, the Daisy cat, says goodbye as well. You saying goodbye? You saying goodbye to all the nice viewers? Tell them to subscribe to the channel. Tell them to like the video. She's perking up. Can you guys... She's looking straight up at the camera. All right, see you guys later.